Warner Brothers Discovery is actually now for sale. Warner Brothers Discovery is for sale. David Zaslav has made it clear that multiple parties. He hinted at that a little while ago. He said, we want to make it a bidding war. So now apparently he has his bidding war. Now, do we know who the multiple parties are? Not really. But strategic options include continuing the previously announced split and spin a la NBC Universal and Verizon. So they're continuing to break down Warner Discovery for tax purposes and debt purposes to shuffle things around. But we do not know who is interested. But I'm sure a lot of the big name companies and investment groups are out there circling this chum in the water. Because let's be perfectly brutally honest. Despite being one of the most dysfunctional companies in the world when it comes to making movies and TV shows and making games and all that stuff, Warner Brothers, we'll take the Discovery part out of it, Warner Brothers has one of the most desirable entertainment catalogs out there. They have control over parts of Lord of the Rings. They have control over DC, Superman, Batman, the entire DC stuff. They have control over that. They control Harry Potter. They control a lot of things that are still quite popular when executed properly. That being said, they themselves have failed to actually make money on some of the most powerful IPs in current modern entertainment. And I say that knowing that I'm about to launch into my next part of this. So Warner Brothers is for sale. We know that Paramount Skydance made a tender offer last month, and Warner Brothers rejected it. That doesn't mean Paramount Skydance isn't going to go anywhere, but that started the conversation. And our response to it when we talk about it is, no, we don't need another monopoly. Making large companies having control of all these different IPs hasn't worked so far, and it's not going to work in the future. But that hasn't stopped anybody else from now coming in. And it begs the question, and I'm going to bring it back to my favorite punching bag as of late. James Gunn's DCU. We were told all summer by stans, shills, that Superman 2025, James Gunn's Superman, was a wild success, that it did what no other Superman movie ever could do, that it made Superman fun again. Punk rock is kindness and that kind of crap. It set the stage for Supergirl because everybody wants to F Millie Alcock. That's the only reason they're interested in that movie right now. It's not because Millie Alcock is some all-time great actress or that they're going to make a really good Supergirl story because they're using Tom King's background crap. No. They've created a whole scenario that it's so good, so healthy, so great that we're all just haters and Snyder bros, even though I don't like the Snyderverse either. If that did so well, if it made so much money, if it had secured the financial future for Warner Discovery, then how come Warner Brothers is for sale now? How come? The answer is very simply, James Gunn's DCU did not save Warner Discovery. If James Gunn's DCU, James Gunn's Superman had made $1 to $2 billion, which it should have if executed properly, then Warner Brothers would not be for sale. They would have financial security. The money would be rolling in. They'd have a clear path to solvency. Let's ride Superman and the other members of the Justice League into the future. Let's do this. But no, it was a financial disaster. It was a movie that cost, when you include all the production budget and marketing, it cost almost $600 million. which means at making only $615 million, it lost money. We have the fictional lost money of about $40-odd million, $85 million. Then there's the actual losses of probably $200 to $300 million in loss. So they ate it hard with the failure of Superman 2025, which puts them now, to use the terminology, they're in play. They're vulnerable. They cannot possibly mount any sort of defense for a takeover. So now, instead of playing the takeover game where a lot of people probably lose their jobs, or lose their jobs anyway, now Zaslav has said, we're for sale. We are for sale. You can buy us on the cheap as long as I get my golden parachute, most likely. And this is not good news for anybody. Because as I said a moment ago, we don't need more monopolies. Look at what Disney has turned itself into. It's a monstrosity that can't take care of its own IPs. So we don't need a monopoly, and we don't need Amazon coming in and doing it. Look what they did with MGM Studios. They've destroyed every product that they purchased with that. Every bit of the MGM library is tanking. Apple, I don't know if Apple's going to do it. Apple has more money than God. They're like Amazon. They have more money than God. They're very solvent. But Apple, this kind of stuff, it's a downing seed. Listen, they use it to set up other marketing strategies. I don't think Apple's in the business of making movies or television that well. I don't think they want to do it. I think they connect it to other shit. And of course, Disney, they ain't gonna do it. They can't afford anything, and Disney's already too big. Maybe if Disney did it, somebody would actually have to start enforcing antitrust laws. They'd actually have to fucking do it. I don't believe they do it because they should have enforced it in the first place. Disney should not have been allowed to buy 20th Century Fox for $72 billion, which they still haven't earned any money back on yet. This is a bad scenario. That these companies who own some of the greatest modern entertainment IPs, some of the most culturally significant IPs in history. You own Batman, you own Superman, you own Harry Potter, you own a large bit of Lord of the Rings, Tolkien's world, and you can't make money on that? They're going to lose money with Hunt for Gollum. DCU's already lost money, and Harry Potter reboot on HBO Max is shaping up to be a disaster. You have all this stuff and you can't make money on it. You can't do it. How incompetent are you? You're incompetent enough that now you have to sell. I mean, once upon a time in the 20th century, in the mid to late 20th century, all these studios were individual studios that fought each other to be on top. And now they're just getting swallowed up by one corpo after another. Pretty soon, if they don't enforce antitrust laws, we will have one giant corporation that owns all of entertainment. Just better hope it's not the government. Better hope that. Either way, this is not good. More than ever, makes me not care about supporting any of this stuff. I'm more interested in what I'm doing. I'm more interested in new ideas. I don't want. I'll go back to what was great, but I'm not interested in new stuff like this. Not at all. Not at all. Warner Brothers Discovery for sale. It's a fire sale. Now, will they break it up? Who knows? Will they sell it off in parts? Who knows? I don't know what the laws are for that. I'd have to do the research. I don't want to do that research because it's not my forte. But I don't know if they can break things up and sell it piecemeal, piece by part. I don't know, but that may end up being a possibility, and someone may buy it for the whole kit and caboodle. Either way, this is not a good sign for entertainment. Not a good sign. You don't want anybody buying this shit up. Not at all. Oh boy, can we go back to the good old days? I don't know. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.